Hello, Eugenia here for the community Heart Over Me, with a guest from New Zealand. As always, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself. Who are you? What is the essence of your life?
Hello, Eugenia. Thank you very much for your invitation. Um, as you said, my name is Anna. Have you said it?
No.
Probably. No, yes. My name is Anna Proc. I'm a painter and I enjoy my life with my partner, also painter, Gabriel Heimbler. And we have been living here for 10 years now, and it's it was very challenging, and we are quite satisfied from what we have done until now.
Mhm. I spoke already for our community with Gabriel, and today, even we see on the screen it is his Zoom account, so we see Gabriel Heimler. But today, let's focus on you. You
Okay.
as an approach, your heart,
Yes.
your essence. So,
Yes.
what is the
Yes.
essence? Who are you?
Yes. There- Thank you very much. I can say I was interested in many things in my life. Mm, for example, I studied sociology. I studied Romance languages, linguistics, cultures, communication, and I was very interested in different uh, people's uh, cultures and how they communicate, how they express themselves, and how can we feel other nations.
What was
So
this? Why you wanted to know the cultures, the languages, and how do you feel the differences? What it
yes,
was?
that was very interesting experience when I started talk to them in their language. I always discovered that they have a spirit, that they express themselves with in a different character. So it was like a kind of national, uh, spiritual dimension that opened to me. So
Mhm.
that was very enriching. Yes.
Can you give an example of the first? Now it is some time ago it happened, but do you remember something special when you have been surprised that the people who express different thoughts in different languages, they are transmitting also different understanding, different world? Do you remember of something what happened?
Yes. Different. I don't want to talk specifically about the nations because people might say that it's critical, that it's a critic.
No, not at all.
uh, I don't want to be critic, but certainly some people, some nations are very enthusiastic to know someone who is foreign, and they are very open. And some of them are contrary, even try straight to speak English instead of their own language,
Mhm.
and they are rather reserved and shy. And there are other nations that are extremely curious about somebody else from different country. So that was quite interesting. Some people, some nations have a kind of internal, inherited kind of joy of life, we can say.
Which
Some are
which
cold, maybe reserved. Yes. Mhm.
which culture do you find mostly interested for another for foreigners?
Uh, Certainly, it's also, we can say, I don't want to generalize. It's certainly also first impression that we have, that we are in the country for the first couple of days or maybe couple of months. So I think to know well, better the culture, we have to stay there for longer time and to see how it's really to become a real friend with people, to people. And yes, so it's always a process to know better people and yeah, cultures.
So what is for you the most friendly nation in the world?
Oh, ah, I think we are able to make friends in any country we want. It's just our way of looking for. It's our way to be to people. I think this is the most important. I think in every country we can find people that we are friends to.
How much following heart was in your life?
How what? Beg your pardon?
Following heart. How much
Ah,
did you follow your heart in your life?
mm, hmm. Um, I think quite quite well. Um, it's a difficult question, uh, but but I think all the time I followed my heart. I was reasonable, but even if my reason was stronger than my heart, uh, certainly it was also heart that was weak. So I discovered that my heart was weaker and my reason was stronger. So I think I always followed my heart, even if there was a time my heart was not so strong.
Do you think that it was like the percent between heart and mind? It shifted in some time, and would you see now it is stronger? There is bigger percent of heart in your decisions as before,
Mhm.
because you are
I
European.
think it's always, I think it's quite balanced. I think it's quite balanced. And I think it's quite balanced. And if there is too much of something, I think with time, we find out that there is too much of something, and maybe we make decisions that can balance this.
Yeah.
So I think even if there is a time maybe we follow the reason much more than heart, uh, I think then we will have a kind of change. We will have a change. I think it will be always balanced. I think, yeah.
As you are European, and now you are living in New Zealand. What happened? How was this decision? And are you happy to have taken this decision to move, to leave Europe and to go from a more farthest continent?
It was not difficult because we just wanted to check if it's possible to stay there or not. So it was not difficult at all because I was always open to live in a different country. Yes.
But it is very far away. It is like a,
It is very far away, but I didn't feel that it was so far away. I think nowadays the world became very small.
and how was the
I
shift?
didn't feel.
Because you are sociolog. Sociologues, they work a lot with society, with statistics. And then you enter in completely another world, which is artist, the world of artists. Uh, which not always supported by the society, not very serious scene. How was this shift?
Mm. Apart from sociology, I also studied Romance languages and linguistics, and also cultures. So it was actually not difficult at all because I had an interest in people, people as a kind of subject to study through, we can say, artistic lenses. And yes, I was always interested in art in general. I followed all kinds of exhibitions. I went to museums, galleries. So I love to learn about visual art, and so that was always a wonderful word for me.
How it started the first time you started painting?
The first, I did some drawing courses. Then I discovered that we can paint with transparent painting on the glass.
Oh.
It seemed to me that that was my own invention. I was not interested in anybody else, so I like just to have it as invented, as if I have invented it.
Oh.
So I liked it very much. I did some then from paper and some other material, some collages. I liked rather symmetry. I didn't like abstract. There was also a sense in the composition.
Mhm.
Yes.
I have some works of you. Let me share them, and then maybe you can tell about your journey with the paintings and expressing yourself through them. So it is you painting.
Mm.
Now I'm going to the first painting. Do you see it?
Yes. The painting, the title is A Golden Fish. Uh, this painting captures the diversity of people's attitudes. The figures depicted are connected because they are all in the same boat. It's a waka. It's a boat icon of New Zealand, icon of New Zealand, we can say, because Maori came by waka to New Zealand, and they are connected as if they would be in New Zealand. This waka could be considered as New Zealand. And as I said, they represent different attitudes. For example, a lady, very sophisticated, drinking tea.
Yeah.
There is a ship master, this guy on the back of the painting. He may be unexperienced yet. There is a strong seaman rowing, assuring going forward, and also a guy with back of um, he's seated with his back to the viewer, and he seems to be probably maybe a playboy or who knows, quite shy and suffering from seasickness or maybe from his choice of life. And there is the only one figure, the lady watching the golden fish, who seems to be quite focused, and maybe she's the only one who can follow her dream. So this is the golden fish painting.
Wow. And how beautiful do you described everything going around and starting from the lady, which is attracting a lot. Like she looks from outside, she has a good social status, but when you explained everything, it is the question if she's lucky, if she's really following her heart in your life.
Yes, yes, exactly.
And maybe the
Exactly.
other one who is
Everybody, yes, yes. She's the only one who is able to dream, maybe, or to really do what she wants to do.
let's go to the next one.
Yes, this painting is called Kapiti Dream. It represents the notion of a perfect dream This painting is inspired by the wonderful Kapiti Coast, northwest of Wellington, with wonderful long beaches and mountains. And it's always this natural spectacle of the play between the sky and the ocean that is ever present there. So certainly the couple enjoys their closeness and the surroundings. Also, they are uh, longing in this bathing tube that they are very comfortable, we see, and it makes this kind of very sensual view, also because they are enjoying a glass of red wine. It lends an air of sensuality.
Yeah.
There is also on the horizon an island. It's Kapiti Island. Its shape has been considered ideal and unique. Some filmmakers took it to their movies. And the island is special also because it's a bird island. Only by a booked boat trip we can get there. So this is another Kapiti dream that the painting represents.
Very beautiful. And of course,
Yeah.
it is in the beginning, it is not obvious that you are sitting in a bathtub, and
Yes.
and then when you
Yes.
realize, oh, it is not a boat, it is just bathtub, and then it may be just a dream, which also it could be provoked by the wine.
Yes. Yes. Could be. That's a good idea. But
Yeah.
also, certainly in this painting, we had this idea that Kapiti Coast, it's wonderful, but it's sometimes very wonderful weather in summer and not so warm in winter. So to be so comfortable then and enjoying surroundings in a couple and to have warmth, probably it would be better to have a bathing tube. Yeah.
Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, this is a new era. This painting captures the idea of evanescence. There is a couple of elements that symbolize the passage of time. There is a mountain, first of all, in the background, that it's everlasting, long-lasting. And there is a Rolls-Royce luxury car from 70s in the middle. And there are three male figures there that represent different generations. The most prominent is the one in the middle. It's a boy that symbolizes youth and what will be. He's watching the horizon with binoculars, and metaphorically, he's looking into the future. He's looking into the new era. So this is this strong point, the future, the new era of this painting, and this is the title.
And we see also those two other men.
Yes, those two other men. This is this different generation, the older and the middle age, middle generation.
Yeah. Let's go to the last.
And of course, I don't want to share who are those two, but those are the figure real figures,
Oh.
we can say. I will not maybe, yeah, that's it.
Okay, okay. Let's go to the last one we wanted to speak about. It is about a lady, about a beautiful blue-eyed blonde lady lying on the.
Yes, yes, this work is called, we call it Seashell Woman. Woman, this work celebrates the woman in the center of the painting. As you see, the ground she's laying on seems uncomfortable, and also her position is far from relaxed. And this position and background symbolizes her life situation. She may be lonely and alienated. As you see, she avoids viewers' gaze. Perhaps she had been hurt. Maybe she is a victim of her captivity, her own captivity. Or maybe also like a seashell, she hopes to be discovered for the treasure that she is and to be loved.
How much of you it is in your paintings?
I would say, uh, I would say certainly my, I can say my attitude towards 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 the things that I see around me. So a little bit of that, what I see, what I notice around me, what I capture. Um, so yes, this is one thing when we talk about the subject,
Yeah.
and there is a bit of me in the colors as well, and in the forms, in the style.
So when people see you, we see outside what we have inside.
Mm-hmm.
It is like mirroring of our inside.
Yes, yes, certainly. It's always this psychological mirror, we can say, in some ways. We don't, we don't, it's not our idea to show our psychological, mirroring our psychological life or our sociological life, certainly not. But unconsciously, certainly, we transmit our state of mind in some ways.
Nowadays, you are with your partner, very successful painters, world known, and you are living some kind of dream life for many artists. What you can advise for people who are still not brave enough to follow their hearts? How they can do it?
Mm. I think they have to open themselves, and they have to be patient, perseverant, and not to lose their time, I think.
As I know, as you are European and you came to live into another continent, what would be your advices for those who are moving, who are leaving their home and trying to integrate in another societies? What is the success formula?
Certainly, as I said already, perseverance and openness. Certainly, it's necessary to learn a lot, to observe a lot, and to answer the most in the most relevant way, as to make people understand what we really want. I think this is the most important, to give the clear idea of who we are and what we expect, and also to learn what people expect from us.
What exactly are you working now with your partner? What are you working
We
on?
are, yes, we are working on a new series about isolation. We started working on it a couple of months ago before this actual coronavirus isolation was imposed. So we started to paint about voluntary isolation for people's own comfort that people actually like sometimes.
Yeah.
And we also in this series wanted to talk about something like a shaping the society or shaping the people's attitudes, people's way of life.
Mhm.
Yes, so both in one,
That's beautiful.
both subjects in one.
To get more information about your work and what do you do, how people can reach out to you?
We have a web page. I think it's with all our contact
Mhm.
details and about all series that we have created uh, here in New Zealand. So it's a new web page and it's about our 10 years work
What is
in
the
New Zealand.
favorite serial for you?
Sorry,
Which
beg your
serial
pardon?
for you is the must love child?
Child?
No, which series? Because you have many
Which
series.
I of course I understand. Oh yes, thank you for this question. I think I love all of them. I love all of them, but one of the most important was the All in the Same Waka, the one that you showed at the beginning of this presentation. That was Golden Fish. I think we were talking about we painted about migration, about uh, different nations, about different choices, about mutual influences of cultures. So that was that was very interesting that we painted that 7 years after coming to New Zealand, and it was a quite significant step forward in our career or our creation.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for our conversation. And all the best for your work in partnership. And I hope to see you again and to interview you together with Gabriel, that you can introduce how you work together, because that's another topic, but very important, that it is important to work also for female and male integrating aspects and helping each other in respect and love, which you are representing so beautiful.
Thank you very much, Eugenia. It was a pleasure to talk